So I've decided to set myself a little challenge. I'm going to try get S rank on all the online sports and puzzles minigames. I decided to do shell soccer first because it looked fun. I need a break from those damn puzzle minigames. I'm still having nightmares about block stars. Anyway, for those that don't know, shell soccer is a 2v2 minigame. Your teammate is a computer player that you don't have any control over. Each side has 7 Goombas, and the game ends once one team knocks out all 7 opposing Goombas. There is no time limit, so potentially the game could go on for half an hour. Very unlikely, but it could happen. So the first thing you want to do when a match starts is you want to check up in the top corner and you want to check which character is the human player, because they're probably going to be the one you want to keep an eye on. So I play pretty aggressively because you know what they say, the best defense is a strong offense. But the reason for this is because even if you lose, if you happen to score a lot of goals, you won't actually lose that many points. Sometimes you might even gain points. It'll probably only be 1 or 2, but it's still better than losing points. So basically, score a lot of goals. Easy strategy, right? And I know what you're saying. TLaw, how do we score a lot of goals? And that's a great question. So grab your notebook, because here's tip number 1. At the beginning of the match, when there's a lot of Goombas, shoot. If you've got time to take a shot, then take it. It doesn't matter where you are on the field. Now when you're taking a shot, you want to just be tapping the B button. Try to line up your shot before you press B, because you don't want to be holding it down to aim. You need to act very quickly because your opponent's not going to let you get a clear shot, especially once you get in the higher ranks. Now another tip for taking shots is you want to use the wall. Rebound shots are your best friend. They're harder to block, and if you do it right, you can take out a lot of Goombas. Now as there gets fewer Goombas, you're probably going to need a little bit more time to line up your shot. One thing to note is that when you've got the ball, you'll move slower than the other players. So you will need to utilize your teammate. Believe it or not, they're not always completely useless. And with some good passing, they might actually score you a few goals. However, if you've got trust issues and you don't want to use your teammate, that's fine. I understand, we've all been there. A good tactic is to try and bait the opponent into slide tackling you and missing. The recovery time from a missed tackle is longer than it takes to make a shot. Speaking of trust issues, I can't 100% confirm this, but it seems as though if you're playing someone who's a lower rank than you, their teammate will be a higher difficulty than yours. So keep that in mind, because sometimes my teammate was completely hopeless and it was better for me to just go solo. Now let's talk a little bit about defense. Most important thing when you're defending, be very careful when you tackle, because if you miss a tackle, the opponent's probably going to score. Sometimes it's best to just play goalie and try and block their shot. Using the slide tackle is a great way to try and intercept their shot at the last second. Slide tackles are also a really great way to win the kickoffs. Instead of running into the ball, slide into it and it will pretty much guarantee you possession. However, when it's your kickoff, sometimes it's best to let the opponent get the ball and then tackle them. And everything else pretty much just comes down to practice. I highly recommend this minigame. I had a lot of fun playing it. If you haven't played it online yet, you should definitely give it a shot. And now I've got to decide which game to S rank next. Let me know what games you've been playing or what games you want to see me play. And as always guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time.